Yeah, I mean, the game would be really interesting if this were you played as an orc. Again, really deviating from Tolkien's idea that orcs are just monsters. But maybe deviating in a way that's more interesting than what the game has given us so far. Alright, we got a piece of the Vendetta set, I guess. We got the Vendetta sword. Which is slightly better, but in... Yeah, right. To boost it, you gotta keep doing Vendetta stuff. Interesting. Okay. And we got a Gondorian sword. Oh yeah, right. This was that other sword we were using. That crits have a chance to light people on fire. What is this one? Oh, this is a fire one too. Cool, we've unlocked the Rohirrim sword. Okay, and then I've got that box to open.
Welcome to the Math Squad.
Thanks, DMJ. Welcome to the squad. Let's see what kind of stuff we get. We just get gear from these. Okay. All right, a cloak. And something else. What did we get? Let's look at that stuff. Oh, I also got the Bright Lord's armor, the Vendetta one. Oh, I had this from before. Yeah, that's my Bright Lord set. Okay, well let's equip that one because that's an upgrade, and then this one's a considerable upgrade for a cloak. Okay. Of course, I'm poisoned. Of course. Okay. Let's head for the barrows. The problem with asking what Tolkien's orcs thought of humans is that it doesn't matter. Like, they're explicitly not allowed, I guess, to have like a point of view.
The meaning of the word savage.
They're monsters, not people. They just happen to look and are shaped like people, right? They're easy to mistake for people, and I think that the game's designers play into that mistake. They've mistakenly thought that we would need them to be people to be interested in them, which actually, like, this game is about the orcs. It's not really about Thalion or any of his other bullshit. It's about the orcs, and so it misses the target. Come on. I mean, the game, I don't know. It hasn't tried to make me feel bad about killing the orcs yet. I hope it doesn't, because that would be especially weird. But there is some degree of attempting to sort of humanize them. Detonate. Damn. Doing this thing correctly? Alright. Let's do some more edge shelf kills. Like how they can just see me, but I'm still gonna be able to do the stealth kill. Come here. Yeah, more of you up on the ledge. This game has an interesting idea of the word stealth. So stealthy. We gotta just murder. We gotta start murdering these orcs in greater numbers here. Yeah, so we have that ability now where we can get health back in the middle of a fight, which is super useful. It's cool that they're just gonna bring the savages to me. There we go, let's finish this thing.
You know what I'm going to do to you, killer? I'm going to take every axe from every savage you off and use them each to hack off a different bit of you.
Okay. Comes enraged at the sight of spiders. How does he feel about getting shot in the eyeball? Oops. There we go.
I have seen many things that will happen in days to come. A headless fell beast, a white hand, and most pressing, your death.
I mean, I die all the time, dude.
Your fate is sealed.
I just killed him with my knee. Okay, good. Oh, I should check on my gem situation. Was that elf's name Bubbles? Yeah, I think it was. That was Bubble. Okay, so I can continue to boost my abilities. Oh yeah, this is the teleportation one. I like that one. Okay, and then I also have gems that I can merge, I think. Okay, here we go. Nope, don't equip it. Just stop it. Forge that shit. Forge. Forge it. Forge harder. Okay. And then this one, the green one, the vampire one, I can go even higher now. There we go. Alright, so that's all good. Slightly better bow, but not nearly as many arrows. Okay.
Our illustrious champion returns.
Big night.
Welcome home.
Welcome back. Alright, I gotta equip a new quest. Like, go to this damn travel point. Door. Yep. All right. So we're back in Celebrimbor's personal poem cave. Yeah, the game will appear more or less stuttery depending on your connection to Twitch. It's buttery smooth for me, unfortunately. I mean, not that that's bad, but it's bad. It's not for both of us. Okay, all right. Poem cave is sorted out. So now I got to go and retrieve all the special poetry keys. So let's go do that. When a man lorms a woman, when a man lorms an orc. I hate that song. I do approve of man on orc romance, though. Yeah, my favorite Star Wars bounty hunter is Forlorn. Do we know which of Berg's parents is the humans? No. Though Berg may not have a human parent. Half-orc is just a term for someone who is not completely orc or completely human. Half-orcs are their own species. Oh, sucks for that guy. Going the right way anymore. No, of course not. Excuse me, boys. I'm looking for a poem. Is this the Mordor Poetry Club, or no? All right. Poems? Poems? Benton, no, because D&D doesn't, I wouldn't, like, adjust the stuff. I wouldn't adjust the stuff if you have, like, two 2/15 orc blood. I think that if you have any orc blood in you, you're a half-orc. I think that's just how it do. What the fuck is this poem? Oh, there it is. Nugs.
Noab,
Oh, well, it looked like it's pronounced nugs, right? My Huenya is a little fucking crusty, so excuse me, Celebrimbor. What's about an orc parent and an elves and orcs can't interbreed? At least in Court of Swords they can. Stop telling me to Mighty Shot, God. Yeah, I mean, I think human magi genetics, are such that humanity is the easiest, it's the easiest component to get rid of or to overwrite. I think that, like, elf blood and I honestly, I don't think that in Court of Swords, I don't think that half-elves are biologically produced. I think they are magical experiments. So that's a whole other thing. But with orcs, the idea is that if you are a human, your blood is thin and weak, and that any other ancestry will just like override it. Humans are easy to breed out. Oh, hi, bud. I think of half-elves as more like changelings, right? Strange humans. You don't like elves. I don't think elves in Court of Swords reproduce sexually. Yeah, half-elves are like weird experiments. Children who would have been human but were born too close to elven incursion space. Stuff like that, yeah. Nah, I took up your head. I think there's probably, like, I don't know, next to no half-elves in the world of Court of Swords anyway, like right now. What's up, Gedrith? Alright, let's go this way. Honestly, that ability, like, just for pure teleportation purposes, so good. Okay, there's a poem down here. There it is. What does this one say? Do you remember? Spicy.
Here we are.
God damn it. Alright, we could do a monument. There's just so much busy work to do. Let's go do this combat challenge. Venomous thoughts? No, probably not. Squid, I think if it hasn't been clear, I'll make it clear now. The elves and the things in the crystal vision are the same thing. The thing that gave Berg his current life sapping abilities was an imprisoned elven something or other. Canas. Oh, it's my favorite film festival. Take Celebrimbor to the Canas Film Festival.
Canas is our word for bravery. And
Canas.
it took bravery to march on
Open up a hot can of ass.
Control of it from Sauron himself.
I love how he's like Canas. is our word for bravery. Which I am very brave. I'm so brave. Kill enemies to gain wrath. Well, yeah, I know, but I just have to get to the vantage point in 30 seconds, so I don't want to stop and fight you. What's up, Ty? Okay, here we go. Defeat Uruks. Wait. What? Finish before... I have to do all that shit before time runs out? I am so confused. Can I restart? How do I... Here we go, retry mission. I don't get it. When Xanathar's Guide comes out, I will definitely be digging into it, and then I'll figure out what I want to put.
And indeed, it took bravery to march on Mordor and wrest control.
What I want to put in
Sauron himself.
What the fuck here? What's the deal? What am I supposed to do? I only have 30 seconds to do this whole thing, but I got to reach the vantage point, and then what? Slow motion people? Okay, so killing guys doesn't do anything. Oh my god, okay. Just fucking... Jesus. Try that again.
Cannas is our word for bravery. And indeed, it took bravery to march on Mordor and wrest control of it from Sauron himself.
Yeah, do I have the arrow? Oh, right. Time stops and focus refills and kills. Alright, so here we go. Let's... Oh, and I gotta do headshots too. Shit, and I'm out of arrows. Okay. I guess retry. So the running isn't really a big deal. Thanks, Holden. Okay, I see. I see how it works.
Cannas is our word for bravery. And indeed, it took bravery to march on Mordor and wrest control of it from Sauron himself.
So I just need to do headshots. Okay, I see. Oh, don't take out your sword. That's not how that's going. It's less the time and more running out of arrows that's the actual problem. One more. Ah, fuck. And I gotta climb up and then jump off a thing again. Fuck. Oh my god. I missed. God damn it. Alright, try that again. Alright, I see how it's supposed to go.
Cannas is our word for bravery. And indeed, it took bravery to march on Mordor and wrest control of it from Sauron himself.
Climb, fool. Okay. Get them all? Okay, let's do another one. Another one. There we go. That wasn't so bad.
When the One Ring slipped from my finger and onto Sauron's, I learned how little bravery differs from recklessness. When next I confront Sauron, I shall leave nothing to chance.
Wow, he actually learned a lesson. Being brave is not the same as being effective. It's true. That's very true. Oh, and I have a skill unlock. Okay. Melee crits, that'll help trigger my fire. Yeah, you know, I've always liked fighter mages as a thing, or classes that merge fighting and magic. When I was a kid, elven like blade singers were super cool. Warlocks with swords, and it's all Gandalf, right? Because Gandalf was like an accomplished swordsman, right? He fought with staff and sword. He had that glamdring fucking going for him. Yeah, and I always thought that was super cool. So, yeah. I think if I ever played in a Forgotten Realms game, I would want to play an elven blade singer. All right, how do I smash this? All right.
Let's see how bloodthirsty these assassins are now.
They're nothing compared to elven assassins.
Oh my god, dude. He says that about everything. He's like the most obnoxious fucking like PC fanboy. Like, look at this cool game I got for my PlayStation, guys. Oh, it is nothing compared to a personal computer.
Mordor understands what I'm saying, but they all get the point eventually. Get it? It has two meanings. The point of the words and the point of the weapon.
I like how he has an elf helmet on. He's arrow proof, huh? Mighty shot, guys. Mighty shot. I always thought that it was weird, and I continue to think it's weird, that samurai are a thing in D&D, because I can't, unless you rename them and redesign them in some serious way, you have to put them in like a fake Japanese culture to make them work in your game. Like samurai, let's not mince words here. Samurai are fucking cool. And there's no question there, and it's real obvious why you would want to play one, because they're awesome. But they're like a very specific, like tied to a culture, warrior tradition, and just throwing them into D&D means you either have to get all like weird and orientalist and be like, Karatur, guys, Karatur, or you have to play a game where everyone is part of the same, like you're all part of that culture. It just seems weird to me. Yeah, paladins are very much the same way, but paladins fit in better because the culture is built for them. Why can't I teleport? All right, I need to pick up some elf shot. Hang on. Like the idea of some of the samurai stuff, like Mike Merle said in the video about samurai, people don't want to play actual samurai. They want to play honorable warriors who focus on their weapon and follow a code of honor and yada yada yada. But like a samurai by any other name, right? Like to do some drain life here. Okay. There we go. Ooh, what do we get? Is it a plate? Fancy.
The last king of Gondor, Eonar, challenged the Witch King himself.
Why was this
in the
laying
heart of
around?
Angmar. Armored for war, not ceremony, he left his crown behind when he rode to his fate.
That's why, I
We
guess.
hold it in trust for the day when a king of Gondor will return to wear it. Though we need a future king with enough sense not to confront the Witch King alone.
Calling an honorable warrior archetype a samurai is like calling every vampire a Dracula. I mean, it's not exactly the same, but it's like pretty similar.
Ah, but your people have spurned their kings, have they not?
Also, yeah, paladin and samurai as an archetype are quite different. They're very different, like even thematically. Because paladins have a religious angle, right? Paladins are Charlemagne. Paladins are I am a warrior who saw the light of God, and now I quest for the Lord. You know, samurai are like Bushido is tied up in Japanese religious practices, but not in the same way. It's not the reason they fight. It's the name. It's calling them samurai that feels weird to me. Like I get why they want to exist in the world, why they want them in the game, but yeah, I don't know. Okay, I gotta do ground execution. Right, yeah, samurai are like tied to a feudal lord, yada yada yada. It's a word that has meaning. And there's this sort of Final Fantasy approach to being like, well, you know, oops, tried to grab it. Shoot them off the cliff instead. I think they're cool. I think they're super cool, but they're like tricky to play. Excuse me. There's one. Here's the other. Yeah, it would depend on mechanically how reliant on the idea of being a samurai they are, right? Like if it's just a warrior with a code of honor, great. But if they like wield katana and like do a lot of like, you'd have to see, right? Like with Aasimar, I could rename them because the idea of someone who was touched by heaven was pretty easy to manipulate and to include in the game. I'm curious. I'm very curious about the samurai. I'm curious to see how they're different. Get him. It's really hard to knock them down without killing them. Well, no, but what I mean, Farazar, is that the mechanical stuff is often tied to, it's often tied to real-world association, right? Like, the mechanics are inspired by real-life samurai, and so separating the characters from, yeah, right. So their mechanics are all like combat, and so why call them samurai at all, except to be like, I want to play a samurai. But I guess again, speaking to what Mike said, people don't really, when they think of samurai, they don't really want the like feudal warrior bound to their lord kind of samurai. They want katana fighters, basically, which is fine. It's just, yeah, that's the question of like what is the appropriate thing to call them in that case? I don't think that inherently the idea of including samurai as a thing in say D&D is necessarily, you know, as negative as say appropriation, but it's dissonant, right? Calling them, to me anyway, calling them samurai feels dissonant. They're decontextualized samurai. They're, I mean, samurai means something. I guess you could just call them. I mean, calling them anything Japanese makes you think they're just odd. Like I was thinking, you call them bushi or kensai or something, but those are just other Japanese words for warrior, and still maintain some of that kind of cultural baggage. Can I knock this guy down? Come on. There we go. Oh, I see. So I can just charge into them and knock them down. Again, like, samurai stand out because of the context of the game, right? Like, a knight doesn't stand out because D&D is already Western fantasy. Also, this guy looks awesome.
That's not clever. It's just
he's got a hat with a head on it. It's good to have classes that aren't tied to... Yeah, we have monks with key. Exactly, yeah, that's true. Monks stand out in that same way. Yeah, it's an interesting... It's just... The whole thing is really, like, fascinating to me. I'm really curious about it. Maybe it's the thing that I'm the most curious about in Xanathars. Because I definitely wouldn't call them samurai if I allow them in Court of Swords. Like, you are not a samurai. I would need to find another more appropriate name according to my setting, right? Like, there's no Japan analog in Court of Swords, so calling something samurai would be weird. In the same way, I've had to sort of struggle with, like, what to call ogres instead of, like, oni, right? I'm sure that there's, like, a word for, like, a warrior tradition in like Thai, that I can go to. I'm not quite juiced up. Mess you up. Nice. There we go. Skill point.